This is the costume change song. Hopefully they'll hurry up and it won't take very long. Costume change song.
Costume change song.
Thank you, everybody. Costume change song.
Once, a long time ago, there was a boy by the name of Joseph, and he was the favorite of all of his father's sons. And you're not really supposed to do that, but his father did it anyway. And one day his father gave him a coat of many colors, and this is what Joseph thought when he saw it.
I see sleeves of green, red coat has too, so many colors. For you. And I say to myself, what a colorful coat.
So Joseph wore this coat everywhere, infuriating his brothers. And soon Joseph began to have dreams. And he dreamt that the sun and the moon and the stars all bowed down to him, and that his brother's grain bowed down to his. And this made his brothers even more mad. I don't really understand, because it was just dreams, but it still made them horribly mad. And one night, they came to Joseph's room and they drug him up, saying this. I mean, that really escalated quickly. I mean, that jumped up a notch there. Why don't we just toss him in that pit over there?
We will toss you in a pit.
It's right over there. It's got spikes and stuff.
They were lying about the spikes. And anyway, they threw Joseph into this pit, and they were going to leave him there to die. That is, until they heard some Egyptian slave traders walking by, playing some music that sounded suspiciously like this. That's right. And so, after they got this idea, they sold Joseph into slavery and took his coat back to his father to show them that he had died. Now, Joseph was eventually sold into slavery to a man named Potiphar, and Potiphar put him second in charge of his whole house. Now one day, Potiphar had to leave on a business trip. And while he was gone, Potiphar's wife began to notice Joseph. And she began to think things like this.
I think he did it again. He hired a slave out on to be more than friends. Oh baby, it might seem like a crush, but that doesn't mean that it's just not lust. 'Cause I lose all my senses when I see you working those fields. Oh baby, baby, oops, Potiphar's gone again. He left me alone with this here hot slave. Oh Joseph, Joseph, oops, I think I'm in love. Come give me a hug, but I'm not that innocent.
And so, Potiphar's wife made sexual advances at Joseph, and he fled from sexual immorality. And when Potiphar returned, his wife told him that Joseph had attacked her. So Potiphar was enraged, and he had Joseph thrown in jail, where his two cellmates were a bread baker and a cupbearer. Each had been in service of Pharaoh. And they too began to have some strange dreams, and the Lord gave Joseph the power to interpret these dreams. And first the bread baker told his dream that the cupbearer had cut the wine, and this is what he interpreted.
In your hand you had some vines, you turned it into wine. You gave Pharaoh that juice, that means he'll set you loose. This is why you fly, this is why you fly, this is why you fly.
And fly he did right out of the jail cell 3 days later back to Pharaoh's side. But he forgot about Joseph and did not remember him once he returned to Pharaoh's side. But before all this happened, the bread baker told his dream that he had bread on his head and birds ate it. And this is how Joseph interpreted it.
You chubby little fool, you shouldn't know the rules. You weren't careful with his munchies, so now you eat the bird's munchies.
The bird take that bread, so Pharaoh have your head. This is why you'll die. This is why you'll die. This is why you'll die.
I'm gonna die.
And sure enough, 3 days later, that man was killed. Now, eventually, the Pharaoh began to have some dreams of his own. And so the Pharaoh called all his wise men, witch doctors, and scary shamans to come interpret the dream, but none of them could do it. And then the cupbearer remembered that Joseph had the power to interpret dreams. So Joseph was brought before Pharaoh, and this is how he interpreted the dream.
You'll have 7 years of famine.
6,000 oxen dying.
5 years of drought. 4 pandemic plagues. 3 dead guys.
2 of them your friends.
Oh. And 1 guy who can save the whole land.
And so Pharaoh put him in charge, second in charge of all of Egypt, and he was in charge of gathering all the food for the 7 years of famine that were about to come, following the 7 years of plenty. Now eventually, the plague the famine hit Joseph's old family. And so his father sent his brothers to go to Egypt to get some food, but after a series of events that we don't have songs for, his brothers revealed that Joseph said that he was his long-lost brother. And this is what his brothers said to him.
Here's the thing, we weren't your friends. It wasn't cool, but it was all pretend. And yeah, but then you were gone. And all you'd ever hear us say is how we really need some food. That's all you'd ever hear us say. But since you've been gone, we haven't had a meal in a long time. I want some filet mignon, yeah. Thanks to you, now we get what we want. Since you've been gone.
And so, what do we learn from this story? We learn that no matter how bad life seems, no matter what predicaments you're going through, if you believe in God and you trust in Him, He will lead you out of whatever comes your way.
Hey Joseph, don't be so sad. You saved all Egypt, now things are better. Remember to let God into your heart. There's only one God who saves you forever, ever, ever, ever. Na 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 na, hey Joseph. Na 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 na, hey Joseph.
Hello everybody, we are Unbound from Oklahoma Christian University. This is Will Cooey over here. This is Daniel Winter, Taylor Wally, and I'm Jeremy Schofield. And we get the opportunity that Oklahoma Christian gives us to just go around and preach God's Word through our comedy and drama and just whatever else we can come up with. And we have a great time performing for you guys and just getting to talk with you and meet you guys. So right after I'm done talking here, you can come up and ask us about our travels, about our skits, about us, about Oklahoma Christian, whatever you want. Thanks so much for coming out, guys. We had a great time with you.